everybody. Matt Thomas here. I am a local real estate agent, and this is Brian Dewald, a local real estate mortgage lender. And I wanted just, we've been doing these mortgage minutes and chatting every week. We took a little bit of a break over the holidays. There was not a lot of activity in the market, and so we kind of reflected that a little bit. But let's dive back into it, Brian. It looks like the start of the year is going to be some news brewing, of course, that we need to go over. And I think that, it looks like to me that the activity in the real estate market is going to pick up as well. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. Let's touch on some of the numbers and some of the data first, and then we can chat about some of the activity if that works for you.
You bet.
Today's an interesting morning. We see once a month we get the what's referred to as the CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index. That's a really good indicator for mortgage bonds, right? What they're comparing to is December of 2022 versus December of 2021, and what they're hoping for, and what we've seen over the past few months, has been a trickle down for inflation numbers. So that's got the biggest impact when it comes from the CPI in terms of mortgage information, right? So we've seen a couple of really good rallies here over the past couple of months based on the CPI reports. Came out this morning. We're in positive territory this morning. So overall, all of that is really good news for mortgage rates. There's a bunch of factors, as we've talked about before.
Yep.
This is a really big one for quite some time. That's really what caused rates to go up last year, and we're excited that they're starting to come down a little bit. So good news on that front. Yeah, I think we'll continue to see things start to improve a little bit, which again is really good news for mortgage rates. So
great, yeah. I think the Fed has announced that there may still be some increases in their bank rate, but the number, as we've talked about, that seems to be the most direct correlation between what's going on in the mortgage world and the economic world is that inflation number, as you mentioned. So as long as that continues to come down, and it looks like it will continue, that shows that the Fed's obviously doing what they're doing to, their actions are effective in bringing down inflation and curbing it, even if it's a little by little.
Yep. As
we were talking earlier, you said it would be probably a slow process, but nonetheless, it's improvement, and that's what we're looking for. So that's great news.
That's right. I agree. The good news is I think that the peaks from a mortgage rate standpoint over the last few months, I think we've peaked. Right? I think we're on the downhill, which is really great news there. So.
Yeah, and I think that's the prevailing thought on that is that we have hit that peak, and so that's interesting. And so as folks are planning to make their real estate moves this year, do we buy a house? Do we not? What will happen with rates? While all of it's unpredictable, we obviously have to look for trends, and we have to look for things that will give us these indications of where the market may be headed. It's an interesting thing to contemplate as slow as the market has been moving in the real estate world. It almost stopped dead in its tracks as the rates had increased so rapidly last year. A lot of people kind of lost hope and saw a lot of volatility, and it kind of stopped them from moving forward. But as you look forward to this year, if we really have peaked, I think that's going to have a big impact on the rate of buying again. And I think a lot more people are going to reconsider getting back into the housing market, which may cause, an increase in demand. So a lot of folks right now are feeling, now that we've gotten on this side of the new year, a lot of folks are saying that we may be in that window, and that window may be closing quickly as to when the best possible deals are out there, when you don't have to fight with as many people, for homes, and there's not as many multiple offers and that kind of thing. So there's some real opportunity that may be possibly drawing to an end in the near future, potentially, right?
And to kind of add to that a little bit, we touched on this at the very beginning, like the activity for folks really seemed to pick up. It was relatively slower than even usual for last year, since about Thanksgiving to the end of the year, just in terms of activity and stuff like that. However, right after the first of the year, it seems like it's turned. We've had a lot more folks, reaching out, curious, even, folks from a year or two ago saying, hey, I'd like to update my approval status and, get back out there and look. And so, I feel good about it. It's been a nice tick up.
Well, and that's good. And, it's certainly, it looks like that increase is not only relative to what's been going on, but just seems to fall in line a little bit more with what happens historically this time of year, which is people start preparing for springtime with the holidays behind them. And so we may truly be transitioning into that spring season where, we typically see the most amount of home sales. And so we see a lot of home sellers, of course, and we know that the inventory has increased from the past couple of years. But as compared to 2018, 2019, before craziness happened in the market, and the boom, if you will, the inventory levels feel a lot closer to what we saw in the 17, 18, 19. And so I don't think that we'll see 30 people lined up to make an offer, within the first 9 minutes of the house being listed. I've already heard about multiple offers. In fact, I've got a buyer that I'm going to show a property to today that there's already 2 offers on it. And so, maybe that's a small sort of microcosm of what's going on in the market on a more wide scale basis. So that inventory may begin to shrink a little bit until people start putting homes back on the market. But again, with more favorable rates in store and in view, we will probably also see a return of buyers. And so, the market may be a lot more normal than the last couple of years, which I think is probably a welcome thing for a lot of folks, not only real estate agents, lenders, but certainly the buying and the selling public for sure. So,
yep, agreed.
Yep. Very good. Well, we're happy to offer this update, and as always, we'd appreciate if you'd reach out to us. This quick mortgage minute video didn't answer all of your questions. We would love for you to, just tap in or give us a call and plug in and see what we've got going on. And Brian would love to talk to you about your options in terms of getting a mortgage, and we can dive further into the real estate world. So we've got links below in the description that would allow you to make a connection with us and reach out so that we can chat with you further and really kind of develop a scenario that works best for you and your personal situation. Everyone's situation is unique, so we'd love to have a chat with you and see how we best can help you in 2023. Thanks for being here, Brian. Appreciate it. All right, we'll chat with you soon. Excuse me, let me try that again. I'll edit this out. So we've got a link.